Welcome to another deep dive. This time it's all about thinking and acting locally, but with a twist.
Oh, a twist.
Yeah, you know how we're always talking about those big success books? Well, we're going to see if those ideas actually work right here at home.
That's a cool idea, like taking those grand concepts and bringing them down to earth. Making them relevant to our everyday lives.
Exactly. And we're going to be digging into some classics like Mandino's University of Success. You know the one?
Yeah, I know. It's a classic for sure.
And we've got a lot to unpack. From building that success mindset and tackling procrastination.
Ugh, procrastination. The bane of my existence.
Right. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
But we'll also talk about finding work that you truly love and even turning those setbacks into opportunities.
Oh, that's an important one. Because let's face it, life throws curveballs. But it's how we handle those curveballs that really defines us.
Couldn't agree more. So ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So Mandino, he makes a really interesting point in University of Success about traditional education, sometimes missing the mark.
Missing the mark.
Yeah. Like it doesn't always teach us how to actually use what we learn to, live a fulfilling life.
That's so true. We spend years in school absorbing knowledge. But then what? How do we actually apply it to achieve our goals and find happiness?
Right. And it's not just about book smarts. It's about developing those practical skills, the kind that help you navigate the real world.
And those are the skills that often come from experience, from mentorship, from being part of a community where you can learn from others and contribute your own unique talents.
And that reminds me of a story that Mandino shares in the book. It's about this young man. Let's call him X.
Okay.
X. He receives all this knowledge from his mentors. They support him and guide him.
That sounds like a great start.
It is. But eventually, X outgrows their teachings.
Yeah.
He needs to find his own path.
We all go through that at some point, don't we? That moment when we realize we need to forge our own way, even if it means leaving behind what's familiar and comfortable.
Exactly. And for X, it's in his local community, through his friendships and his own explorations, that he really finds his strength and inspiration.
That's so powerful. It's like saying that the answers we're looking for are often right here in front of us within our own communities.
That's like Russell Conwell's Acres of Diamonds story. Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah. The classic tale about the guy who travels the world searching for riches.
And ends up finding the diamond mine in his own backyard.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that we often overlook the opportunities that are right under our noses. We get so caught up in searching for something better that we miss the gold mine we're already standing on.
And that's what I love about this whole think and act locally concept. It's about recognizing the potential within ourselves and within our communities. It's about connecting those dots and realizing that we have everything we need to create something amazing right here at home.
It's about shifting our perspective from what's out there to what's right here, and then asking ourselves, how can I contribute? How can I make a difference in my own community?
And that's where things get really interesting, because it's not just about recognizing those opportunities. It's about taking action.
Right. It's about turning those ideas into reality. But that's where things can get tricky. Sometimes we get stuck. We have these grand plans, but actually taking that first step can feel overwhelming.
Oh, tell me about it. Procrastination is like my superpower.
Oh, I hear you. We've all been there. But the good news is there are strategies for overcoming procrastination.
Like what? Give me some tips.
Well, one thing that's helped me is breaking down large tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks.
So instead of trying to tackle the whole project at once, you focus on those bite-sized pieces.
Exactly. It makes the whole thing seem less daunting. And you get that sense of accomplishment as you check those smaller tasks off your list.
That's a great idea. And I think it applies perfectly to thinking and acting locally, too. Instead of trying to solve all of the community's problems at once.
You focus on one small step at a time.
Right. Like, what's one thing you could do today to make a difference?
Maybe it's volunteering at a local food bank, or donating to a charity, or simply offering a helping hand to a neighbor in need. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture, just something that moves the needle in a positive direction.
I love that. And speaking of maximizing our efforts, I came across this fascinating story about Thomas Edison. Did you know that he used to work as a telegraph operator?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And during those long shifts, he'd use his downtime to tinker and experiment. Those odd moments that we often let slip away.
That's incredible. He turned those downtime moments into opportunities for innovation.
And those little moments of exploration led to some of his most groundbreaking inventions.
That's such a powerful reminder that we all have these pockets of time throughout the day that we can use for something meaningful. It's about being intentional and finding creative ways to repurpose those moments.
Absolutely. And thinking locally, imagine what we could accomplish if we all dedicated even just a few of those odd moments each week to a community project or a cause we believe in.
We could make a huge impact. It's about shifting our mindset from I don't have time to how can I make time?
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. Even those small acts of service can add up over time.
Like spending an hour a week tutoring kids at the local library,
Sure.
or helping out at the animal shelter, or even just picking up trash in your neighborhood.
It all makes a difference. And it's not just about the impact we make on our community. It's about the personal satisfaction we gain from those contributions.
It's about finding that sweet spot where our passions align with the needs of our community. And when we find that alignment, it's like magic.
I love that.
Yeah.
So we've talked about recognizing those opportunities, tackling procrastination, and maximizing those odd moments. But what about finding work that truly lights us up? Napoleon Hill, he believed that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's a great quote. And it's so true. When you're passionate about your work, it doesn't feel like a chore. It's energizing, it's fulfilling, it's something you look forward to.
But how do we find that kind of work? Especially in today's job market, it can feel so competitive.
Well, one approach is to think outside the traditional job search. Instead of just sending out resumes, why not explore the needs of your local community?
What do you mean?
I mean, look around. What are some of the challenges that people in your community are facing? What are the gaps that need to be filled? And then ask yourself, how can my skills and passions contribute to solving those problems?
That's such a creative approach.
Yeah.
It's about seeing those challenges as opportunities
Yeah.
and realizing that we all have something unique to offer.
Absolutely. Maybe you're great with kids and you see a need for more after-school programs,
Hmm.
or maybe you're passionate about sustainability and you could help local businesses implement eco-friendly practices. The possibilities are endless when we start looking for those connections between our passions and the needs of our community.
I love that. It's about thinking outside the box and being willing to experiment and try new things.
And who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent or a passion you never knew you had.
Now that would be amazing.
Right. It's all about embracing the journey and being open to the possibilities. But we've got to remember that success isn't just about individual effort. It's about building strong relationships and networks, especially within our local communities.
That's so true. And one of the key principles we keep coming across is the power of giving and receiving. Robert Conklin. He said, "To the degree you give others what they want, they will give you what you want."
It's a powerful principle, and it applies not just to business, but to every aspect of our lives.
So how do we apply that principle to our local communities? I mean, it's not always obvious what people need or want.
It starts with listening, truly listening to the people around us. What are their concerns? What are their aspirations? What are the challenges they're facing?
So it's about empathy, putting ourselves in other people's shoes and trying to understand their perspective.
Exactly. And once we understand those needs, we can start to brainstorm ways to contribute our unique skills and talents.
It's like a giant puzzle. We each have a piece to contribute. And when we work together, we create a beautiful and complete picture.
That's a great analogy. And as we cultivate those connections, remember the importance of seeking out the interesting qualities in people. You know, Charles Dickens, he had this incredible ability to find drama in everyday life.
You can turn the most mundane encounter into a captivating story.
Exactly. And that's a skill we can all cultivate. It's about looking beyond the surface and appreciating the uniqueness of each individual we meet.
It's like those hidden gems. We just have to be willing to dig a little deeper to find them.
I love that. And when we approach our interactions with that kind of curiosity and openness, we create the space for genuine connection and meaningful relationships.
And those relationships are the foundation of a strong and thriving community.
Absolutely. They provide us with support, inspiration,
Yeah.
and a sense of belonging.
But let's be real. Life isn't always sunshine and roses. We all face setbacks and moments of doubt.
Oh yeah, life can throw some curveballs, but that's where having a strong local network can make all the difference.
Because you're not going through those tough times alone.
Right, you have people to lean on, people who understand what you're going through, and people who can offer support and guidance.
And sometimes those setbacks can actually lead to even greater opportunities.
That's so true. It's like the saying, when one door closes, another one opens. But sometimes we need a little help seeing those open doors.
And that's where our community can step in, whether it's through mentorship programs, support groups, or simply a friendly ear to listen.
We have so many resources available to us if we just know where to look.
And one of the most inspiring stories we came across is about a man who lost his job and used that experience to become a vocal advocate for honesty and hard work.
Wow, he turned that setback into a platform for positive change.
Exactly. And he ended up becoming a valuable asset to his community, sharing his story and inspiring others to persevere through their own challenges.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to overcome adversity and make a meaningful contribution to our communities.
And sometimes those contributions come from the most unexpected places. We also read about a man who persevered despite a physical handicap.
He didn't let his limitations define him.
Not at all. He turned his handicap into an advantage, finding creative ways to contribute his unique skills and talents.
That's so inspiring. It shows that everyone has something to offer, regardless of their circumstances.
And that's the beauty of thinking and acting locally. It's about embracing our differences, supporting each other, and creating a community where everyone feels valued and empowered to reach their full potential.
I love that. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected and that our individual successes contribute to the collective well-being of our community.
And that's what makes this whole journey so exciting. It's about realizing that we have the power to create positive change right here at home, one step at a time.
And together, we can make a real difference.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I wanted to mention that you can help us continue to bring you valuable information and inspiration by visiting our website, thinkandactlocally.com/donate.
That's right. Your contributions help us reach more people and make a bigger impact in our community.
And we truly appreciate your support.
Every little bit helps.
So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into thinking and acting locally, where we'll explore the power of a success mindset and how to turn those setbacks into opportunities for growth.
We'll be right back after a short break.
See you soon.
Welcome back. It's great to be diving back into this Think and Act Locally theme.
Me too. And you know what's been sticking with me? That idea of turning setbacks into opportunities. Like those curveballs life throws our way.
Yeah, those can be tough. But you know what? They can also be some of our greatest teachers.
Totally. It's all about how we choose to respond. And one of the key takeaways from those success books we've been exploring,
Those nuggets of wisdom.
exactly, is the power of mindset. Like how our thoughts can actually shape our reality.
Oh, absolutely. Mandino talks a lot about that in University of Success.
He does. And he even quotes James Allen, remember? As a man thinketh.
Oh, yeah, that one's a classic. You are literally what you think, and your character is the complete sum of all your thoughts.
Wow. Powerful stuff, right?
It really is. It's like a reminder that we have so much more control over our lives than we realize.
So how do we actually shift our mindset from, negative to positive?
Yeah,
Because it sounds great in theory, but putting it into practice.
it can be tricky. I know. But there's some really practical techniques we can use.
Like what? Spill the beans.
Okay, well, one that's helped me a lot is incorporating positive affirmations into my daily routine.
Affirmations, like those I am strong, I am capable kind of things.
Exactly. It might sound cheesy, but trust me, it works.
So instead of focusing on what's wrong or what we lack, we intentionally shift our attention to what's good and what we're grateful for.
Right. It's about training our minds to see the positive in every situation.
I like that. And what about visualization? I've heard that could be really powerful too.
Visualization is amazing. It's like creating a mental movie of yourself achieving your goals.
So you're basically rehearsing success in your mind.
Exactly. And the more vivid and detailed you can make that mental picture, the more powerful it becomes.
So how does that apply to thinking and acting locally?
Well, imagine yourself making a positive impact in your community. Picture yourself volunteering at that local soup kitchen or organizing that neighborhood cleanup day. See yourself as an active and engaged citizen who's making a difference.
I love that. It's like planting the seeds of success in your mind. But it's not just about wishful thinking, right?
Oh, no, not at all. We need to back up those positive thoughts with action.
And that's where determination comes in. That unwavering commitment to keep going even when things get tough.
You know, Napoleon Hill, he said something like, "You can never have riches in great quantities unless you can work yourself into a white heat of desire for money and actually believe you will possess it."
It's like that burning desire.
Yeah.
That belief that you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
And it's not just about wanting something badly. It's about having that deep down conviction that you will achieve it.
It's about that fire in your belly that pushes you forward even when you face obstacles.
Exactly. And those success books are full of inspiring stories about people who overcame incredible odds to achieve their dreams.
Like Charles Dickens, who used the pain of his first love to fuel his writing.
And Helen Keller, who, despite being deaf, blind, and mute, became a powerful voice for hope and possibility.
Those stories are amazing. They remind us that human potential is limitless.
Absolutely. We all have that power within us, but sometimes we need a little reminder, a little inspiration to tap into it.
It's so true. And it's not always about those grand sweeping victories. Sometimes success is about those small, everyday triumphs.
Those moments of perseverance, those acts of kindness and service that make a difference in our lives and the lives of others.
It's about recognizing those acres of diamonds in our daily interactions. Maybe it's helping an elderly neighbor with their groceries or volunteering at a local animal shelter. Those seemingly small acts can have a ripple effect, creating a more positive and supportive environment within our communities.
And as we contribute to the well-being of others, we often find a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in our own lives. But let's be real, life isn't always easy. We all experience stress.
Oh, tell me about it. Stress is like my constant companion, but it doesn't have to control us, right?
Not at all. The key is to manage stress effectively. And one of the best ways to do that is through exercise.
Oh, I know that one. But sometimes it's hard to find the motivation.
I hear you. But even a little bit of movement can make a huge difference.
Like what? Give me some ideas.
Well, thinking locally, we have some amazing parks and trails right here in our community.
Yeah.
Even a brisk walk in nature can do wonders for your stress levels.
And it's a great way to connect with nature, too. Get some fresh air and sunshine.
Exactly. And if you're looking for something a little more structured, there are gyms, yoga studios, dance classes. The options are endless.
So true. And it doesn't have to be about those intense workouts. Just find something you enjoy and that gets you moving.
And don't forget about sleep. When we're sleep deprived, we're much more vulnerable to stress.
Oh, I know that one. But sometimes it's easier said than done.
I know. But creating a relaxing bedtime routine can really help, like taking a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music.
And putting away those screens at least an hour before bed.
That's a big one. The blue light from our devices can interfere with our sleep cycles.
So it's all about creating a peaceful and restful environment.
Exactly. And here's another stress management technique that's often overlooked. Laughter.
Laughter. You're telling me to laugh my stress away.
Well, not exactly. But laughter does release endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects. And it can help us shift our perspective from serious to lighthearted.
So watch a funny movie, share jokes with friends, or simply appreciate the absurdity of life.
Exactly. Find those moments of joy and humor throughout the day. And thinking locally, our communities offer plenty of opportunities for laughter and connection. Attend a comedy show, join a laughter yoga group, or simply strike up conversations with your neighbors and share a few laughs.
Those shared moments of laughter and connection can be incredibly therapeutic. But you know, stress isn't always a bad thing.
Oh, really? Tell me more.
Well, a little bit of stress can actually be motivating. It can help us stay focused and perform at our best.
So it's about finding that sweet spot, that level of stress that energizes us without overwhelming us.
Exactly. It's like a challenge that pushes us to grow and evolve. But sometimes life throws us those curveballs that knock us completely off balance.
Those moments when we feel lost and unsure of how to move forward.
Exactly. And that's when it's so important to remember that we don't have to go through those tough times alone.
Our community is full of resources and support systems that can help us navigate those challenges.
Whether it's reaching out to friends and family, connecting with a local support group, or seeking professional guidance, there are people who care and want to help.
That's the beauty of thinking and acting locally. It's about recognizing that we're all in this together. We have a shared responsibility to support each other, to celebrate each other's successes, and to offer a helping hand when someone is struggling.
It's about creating a community where everyone feels valued, supported, and empowered to reach their full potential. And, you know, as we've been exploring these success principles and applying them to a local context, I've realized that thinking and acting locally isn't just about making our community a better place.
It's also about enriching our own lives.
Absolutely. When we engage with our community, when we contribute our talents and energy to something bigger than ourselves, we experience a sense of purpose and fulfillment that's truly rewarding.
It's about finding those connections, those shared passions, those opportunities to make a tangible difference in the lives of others. And that's what makes thinking and acting locally so powerful.
It's a win-win situation. We strengthen our community, we grow as individuals, and we create a more vibrant and interconnected world.
And that's something worth striving for. It's amazing how these ideas from way back when still resonate, you know? It's like they're speaking directly to us even now.
Right. It's like they knew we'd need this wisdom. Like they were leaving us a roadmap for success.
A roadmap.
I like that.
And what's cool is that while these principles are timeless, they're also flexible.
Flexible. What do you mean?
Well, it's not about following a rigid formula. It's about taking those core principles and adapting them to our own lives, our own unique circumstances and goals.
So it's about taking ownership of our success journey, figuring out what works best for us.
Exactly. And being open to experimenting and adjusting along the way. But, one thing that's really clear from these writings is that we don't achieve success in isolation.
Oh, yeah. It's all about those connections, those relationships that support us and inspire us.
We can find those connections right here in our communities. I mean, remember that story about the guy who found an unexpected mentor in a cleaning lady?
Oh, yeah. He was so impressed by her positive attitude and her ability to find joy in everyday tasks.
It just goes to show you that inspiration can come from the most unexpected sources.
Absolutely. If we open ourselves to the wisdom and experiences of those around us, the things we can learn.
Right. It's about being curious about the people in our community and appreciating the diversity of experiences and perspectives.
You never know where you'll find your next mentor or collaborator, or just someone who sparks a new idea.
Exactly. And speaking of connections, let's not forget about giving back to our community.
Oh, yeah. It's not just about what we can get, but what we can give.
Exactly. And one of the sources we've been exploring really emphasizes the importance of going above and beyond.
Like exceeding expectations and leaving a positive impact on everything we do.
And that applies to our community involvement, too. Volunteering our time, sharing our talents, supporting local businesses.
It's about being active and engaged citizens who genuinely care about the well-being of our neighborhoods.
And when we embrace that spirit of giving, it creates this amazing ripple effect.
A ripple effect.
Yeah. Because when we give to others, it inspires them to give too. And that creates a more positive and supportive environment for everyone.
It's like we're all interconnected. Our individual actions can have a real impact on the community as a whole.
And that's what's so exciting about thinking and acting locally. It's about recognizing that we have the power to create positive change right here at home.
And it all starts with that first step, that willingness to get involved and make a difference.
And you know what? It doesn't have to be anything grand or overwhelming. Even those small acts of kindness and service can add up over time.
Like smiling at a stranger, holding the door open for someone, or simply offering a listening ear.
Those small gestures can brighten someone's day and create a more positive and connected community.
And as we've been exploring these success principles and applying them to a local context, it's become clear that thinking and acting locally isn't just about making our community a better place.
It's also about enriching our own lives.
Totally. When we contribute to something bigger than ourselves, it gives us a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
It's like we're tapping into a deeper part of ourselves, a part that wants to connect with others and make a difference in the world.
And that's what makes this whole journey so rewarding. It's about discovering our own potential while also making our community a better place.
It's a win-win, and I think that's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into thinking and acting locally.
Yes, thank you for being here. And remember, if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to support our mission, please visit our website, thinkandactlocally.com/donate. You can find the link in the show notes.
Your contribution, no matter how small, helps us continue to bring you valuable content and resources.
And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep making a difference right here in your own community.